Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy SSJ back with another What If video. Today we're going to be doing what if Cell won the Cell games and defeated Gohan, and how would that change the story? I think this is an intriguing what if to do because Cell very much had the fight in the bag. He already injured Gohan, came back with a fresh Zenkai boost. He had pretty much every advantage, and he basically threw it away because he decided to go for the one-hit game ender with the Kamehameha as opposed to, actually fighting Gohan and just kind of tiring him out and then going for the kill. So what would have happened if Cell was able to actually fulfill his mission? Let's find out now. We begin our story at the post-Cell games. So Cell's a very interesting individual because he says that he likes to enjoy the suffering of others. So I think because of that, he's going to take his sweet time and he's not just going to blow up the planet right away, right? Because what's the fun in that? He doesn't really get to see the scared faces of the people that he's offing. Now, with that being said, he still turns the Earth into a hellscape. So that definitely still happens. He is a terror. However, him being slow to act in that regard somewhat comes back to bite him, depending on how you want to look at it. Because of that, a couple other evil beings sense his presence next to something that they're looking for. Bobby and Dabura, they sense Cell's presence. I have to say this probably give or take like 4 or 5 years. I'll just say the 7 years. So around the time the Buu Saga would have happened, they sense his presence. So, and obviously he's incredibly strong. He's gone stronger over time as well. And they decide to go confront him because obviously they're going to look for power to give to the ball from Majin Buu. And eventually they find Cell, and that becomes a whole debacle in and of itself. They try to figure out exactly, what's going on. And Cell, he senses a strong power. The first thing he's going to do is try to fight it. So now we got Cell versus Dabura. Cell versus Dabura is going to be kind of interesting because, Dabura is about as strong as Perfect Cell is, or should I say was, right? So Cell acknowledges that he's definitely no weakling. However, when Cell decides to take it up a notch, Dabura is just not going to be any real match for him. And eventually Cell decides that he's kind of bored of this fight. He doesn't really see the point in continuing it. He then decides to finish Dabura off with a Kamehameha. So after doing that, he goes on to confront Bobby, and he decides he's going to let the little potato man have a piece of his mind as well. After offing Bobby, Cell still really cares about the he just gives energy to it himself. And when doing that, thus Majin Buu is still born anyway. Now Cell kind of sizes up the guy that Bobby and Dabura have been hyping up. He hasn't had a good fight in like 7 years. So, he's ecstatic this opportunity. And Buu kind of just doesn't really know what's going on. He's just kind of chilling. He's doing his own thing. But Cell decides, enough time, and he launches himself at Buu, and he instigates the fight, and now they're in conflict. In terms of power scaling here, I'd actually say they're probably quite equal. Like, I don't see Cell getting significantly stronger because he doesn't have people to train with, but it has been 7 years. And if we scale Buu accordingly, he was stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, who himself was way stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Now, I do think Cell has more potential than Vegeta does. So he probably doesn't need to train as hard, but because he doesn't also train as hard, he probably doesn't go as strong as he really should be. So I would say just when you kind of equal that out, plus you factor in the Majin Buu that just got revived, I do think their strength will probably be about equal. Now, Cell and Buu do have a quite even match, but because of his superior martial arts knowledge, Cell's just able to get an opening to hit Buu with an incredibly large Kamehameha. And believe me, Cell knows a thing or two about regeneration, so he makes sure that there's nothing left of Majin Buu. After defeating Buu, Cell is left exhausted at the close fight that he's just had to endure. Now, in the background, we still have the Dragonballs on a different planet, and we got a Kai who was able to keep tabs on what's been going on in the living world. Now, I'm not going to spoil the rest of the next part for you, but just know things about to heat up on part 2 of What If Cell 1, so stick around and watch that as well. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe and have a good day.